The RBC Future Launch Community Challenge is a national effort to support youth leadership and tackle urgent local needs. The challenge provides grants to youth-led projects and supports vital conversations that bring youth and other community members together to discuss the future of their communities.
How did the Happiness Project come to be?
It came out of a conversation that I had with a young man who was staying in our shelter at the time, and he was going through depression. He was battling depression, and so he was going across the street to mental health and addictions. Our office is very close, and he was going to this like group therapy session for people living with depression. And he came back to me and he said, "Oh, Stacey, don't make me go there. Like, it's the worst experience. Like, you're depressed and you go to a group with other depressed people and you talk about how depressed you are." And he said, "When I leave, I feel worse than when I went." But the first session is about relationships and connection.
So it was connection.
Yeah, connection. And we talk about attitude. We talk about resiliency. We talk about, yeah, that's number 5. Don't get me out of order. Meaning is number 4. And then mindfulness. And then the last one is gratitude. Yeah, so one theme per night, and it's multimedia, so there's usually something we watch, a video of some sort that we watch and talk about. There's group activities, there's reflection times and journaling, and there's homework.
There was not a lot of music program of any sort on the islands. There was no real music class at all, and there was no piano or anything like that. And I come from a musical background and I can play piano, and so the idea was that we could have group lessons as an after-school program at Island Consolidated School in Freeport, and we could teach group piano lessons to youth. And so we used some of the money. We were able to buy keyboards for each of the students, and our average was about 7 students we had. And we got to, as you all know, we got to March break, and there was a long March break. I will say, in spite of that, we were able to connect, I would say, on a deeper level with some of the youth that went to this program, and that connection opened other doors to work with youth and to do other things as well.
So essentially what they did was they created, I think it's 26 mini videos. So you can see my presentation now. Can you go see the PowerPoint presentation again now?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, okay. So they essentially created, like, I think it's about 26 mini videos that we're going to share. And
Excellent, Carrie Ann. That's wonderful to have on file too.
That was awesome.
I think it's also equally beneficial to reassure youth that their voice is being heard as well, because some youth, they can get discouraged if they're not being included in the decision-making process about their future. And so I think it's just really valuable, as Mark mentioned, to have our perspective, but also so that we know that we're being heard.
And we were just really inspired by how Stella was able to use her voice to amplify such an important issue in the community, and it was in such a new and refreshing way. And we really thought that that could be a model for other youth across Nova Scotia, and we thought it would be a great project to help provide resources to youth around the province that are also passionate about environmental issues in their own community. So yeah, what we've been doing is trying to provide 9 youth who are in our cohort with some resources and skills to identify and research environmental issues across Nova Scotia. And then the next part of the goal is to generate awareness for those issues and try to propose solutions and engage different stakeholders in government in making change. Despite a lot of the delays and challenges that we faced in the last year, our 9 cohort members have done some really impressive research work, which they will be continuing into 2021.
We are a national organization. We have different projects that we work on, and our projects are really education focused and inspiring next generation conservationists or whatever youth, whatever career path youth take. But then, you know, as long as they have a conservation like mind. But with this specific project, so it kind of included 2 streams, and again, I'll let Cody get into the details, but the one component of it is almost like a science arm. So Cody has been leading the wetland quality monitoring, and that's been happening in the several different communities, which we can talk about. And then also an education arm. So it's kind of combined those 2 things, and the education component being a wetland field trip program. So getting students out to local community wetlands and learning about the biodiversity that lives there and so on. And like Cody mentioned, she's been with us for a few years now, and over that time frame, we've been doing these field trips and come to learn that there has been some changes with the wetlands that we've been visiting and doing field trips on, whether it's been the species that we've observed there or whatnot. So we wanted to investigate that a little bit further. And so that's where the Future Launch program really came into be. We wanted to take a program and really take it to the next level and investigate that a little bit further, and that being the water quality component of the program.
It's always been very important to, you know, I guess reclaim and revitalize our traditions, our land-based traditions and skills and knowledge as Mi'kmaq people. And I had that really great opportunity growing up in I guess, rural Nova Scotia, rural Mi'kma'ki. And so for me, over the past few years, I've just been really passionate about creating opportunities for youth to come together and have gatherings, and especially on the land, and reclaiming that knowledge together. So that was really where the passion came from for this project. I was currently working at the Tatamagouche Center at the time, and there's a great land base there for a lot of the activities that we did when we gathered. And I've been working with James Doucette and Shanice Hache for a number of years. We're really great friends, and they run an organization called Reclaiming Our Roots. So that's their passion project. They've created this amazing organization where they bring especially urban-based Indigenous youth in Mi'kma'ki out on the land to reclaim their roots, to reclaim their traditional land-based practices. So when I started to organize this gathering, I got in touch with them, and they were interested in joining me on it. So we moved forward as partners and created this experience for Mi'kmaq youth and also settler youth, non-Indigenous youth, to come together and share this experience as young people in rural Mi'kma'ki.